Hello neighbors, and welcome to the last movie night of the summer. And what a summer it's been.
The lake has never seen more swimming, or fishing, or canoeing, or paddle boating, or floating, or picnicking,
And it's $1,344 a year.
or painting,
Just doing my part, making the neighborhood pretty.
or selling, or fireworks,
It's choreographed.
or more fun.
Tonight we'll look at one of the East Side's finest gardens, and right here in our neighborhood. Also, with the homeowners annual meeting coming up next month, we'll get some of your toughest questions answered. But first, a quick break from our sponsor.
Did you know that Lake of the Woods is the single most sought out neighborhood in the East Side?
Everybody knows it.
Did you know that you could buy Lake of the Woods Beach Club gear from me, Nick Fazio?
Everybody knows that too.
Well, did you know that some owls aren't that wise?
Huh?
Don't forget I'm having brunch with Megan tomorrow.
Who?
Megan, my coworker.
Who?
Seriously, you've met her like 3 times.
Who?
Order online or by visiting Division 6, Lot 8.
Available in adult and kid sizes.
We all know how beautiful the front yards are in this neighborhood. But to see one of the finest backyards, you'll have to come to my street and see the Perrys.
At the end of 217th Place Northeast, there's a labor of love and a little bit of paradise.
The garden's evolved over 10 years that we've been here, and certainly prior to that, the previous owners had developed it. But we developed this whole eastern section of the garden to add a sports court and what we call a rec house for our kids when they were preteens. And it's just worked out beautifully because it's the place where everybody hung out throughout their teenage years. So this has just evolved. We love gardening. I'm an avid gardener, and it's really our passion. My husband's excellent power tool gardener. Anything that involves power tools, he's there. So he does all the tree maintenance and the lawn maintenance. And
The impressive garden has topiaries, fountains, and many beautiful perennial beds.
Wow.
sort of an English garden.
But perhaps the most spectacular aspect are the magnificent English gardens and raised brick beds that I cannot remember the name of.
Around the edge. It's called a parterre, actually, garden. It's a French term with the raised brick beds and the pathway. It's just it's kind of my happy place that I can just escape. It's very serene and nicely set against a natural growth protected area and the ravine down to the creek. Where we get lots of critters, coyotes, bear, deer, raccoon, of course, and like everybody else. But we kind of try to live peacefully with them, and the deer can have some of my roses, and the bear can have some of my berries. But things that I really cherish, I protect from the bears and with fence and with some deer spray and that sort of thing. But anyway, so it's just a really fun activity for us.
Deborah shared the garden with neighbors and professionals.
This summer, we were asked to share the garden, open the garden to the Washington State Landscape and Nursery Professional Association. And so we did that, and we had about, a large group come through with that professional organization. And as a result, just like you're having a dinner party when you have a garden show or garden open, you spruce everything up. So I thought, well, I'll just invite anybody that wants to come by from the neighborhood. And it was really fun. I think about 25 people stopped by, and I really only knew about 2 or 3 of them, maybe at the most. So I met some new neighbors, which was really great, and loved to share the garden. In particular, a lot of kids came by, and that was really fun. They seemed to really enjoy running around the garden, and I love that because I miss seeing that with my kids. My kids are now grown and launched and out of college and doing great, but not running around the paths in the garden anymore. So anyway, I'd love to share gardens. I'd love to see other people's gardens. So we've been trying to get a garden club started, or some sort of, very casual sort of garden thing going with Lake of the Woods neighbors, and haven't gotten very far except to get probably 3 or 4 people that are interested. But if anybody's interested in doing that, email me or contact me, or we can maybe put our heads together. But it'd be a lot of fun to share the passion of gardening. I know there's a lot of beautiful gardens here, and a lot of avid gardeners, or interested, or even not so avid gardeners, just interested gardeners. So we can all learn from each other, which would be really fun. So anyway, that's all I can say.
When you don't get involved with the Lake of the Woods Homeowners Association, you get bored.
When you get bored, you start staring out windows. When you start staring out windows, you see things you shouldn't see. When you see things you shouldn't see, you need to vanish. When you need to vanish, you fake your own death. When you fake your own death, you dye your eyebrows. And when you dye your eyebrows, you attend your own funeral as a guy named Phil Shifley. Don't attend your own funeral as a guy named Phil Shifley.
Join in today.
The HOA will hold their annual meeting in just a few weeks. It's scheduled for Monday, September 23rd at the Chalker Estate. All homeowners are encouraged to attend. The board is looking forward to seeing you, but before the meeting, we wanted to answer some of your most often asked questions. Here's John Brookman, who's been on the board for over 32 years. Violet Haig, fire away.
What's the deal with the horse poop?
Unincorporated King County, there are no rules for the horse riders. We're required to maintain this horse right-of-way here, but we're not required to force the horse riders to do anything. So I'm afraid if it bothers you, you're just going to have to get out there with a shovel and clean it up. Oh! And some piles are bigger than others.
That is one big pile of shit.
I guess we're just going to have to live with it.
What's the story with the dam?
It's well engineered, it's safe, and we keep an eye on it. We just watch it like a hawk. The worst case would be a sudden release of all the water in the dam when it's full of water. We've planned for that. We've got an emergency action plan in place.
That was easy.
We don't think that'll happen. It's a 1 in 10 million chance, but it is possible, and that's the worst case. And I can't promise you that there wouldn't be serious consequences downstream. But in a more realistic scenario, one we're likely to encounter, I don't really see where there's a problem. Is anyone put at risk from this dam? The answer to that is yes, but we're on top of it.
Many of you have asked, where does all the money go? We have Phil Maxner, the Lake of the Woods treasurer, in his mansion in Division 9. Phil, a lot of people want to know, where does all the money go?
That's a very good question, and I'm happy to answer that because it's an important one to all the homeowners. All right, the board has the responsibility of taking care of all of the land that is owned by the Lake of the Wood homeowners. So we take care of things like insurance, the paperwork, the management, we do the landscaping, and then of course our wonderful and beautiful lake, that is a costly item to manage there. We take care of the landscaping, the trees, probably and recently you've noticed the new picnic benches that have been installed by the lake, and of course taking care of the tot lot and the main entrances to the Lake of the Woods are our primary responsibilities. With all of that, then we're charged by state law to have a reserve built up over time that would accommodate the various major expenses that sometimes occur, like replacement of all the mailboxes.
Hey Phil, how much money do we have in reserve?
Oh, let's just say that our reserve is a very healthy balance.
Welcome to about a quarter of the world's official gold supply.
I know you're careful, but have you ever tried to save money by outsourcing?
Yes, there was one time when we tried to save money early on in the Lake of the Woods history. We tried, with a lot of people using the lake, to use a German lifeguard company.
How did that work out?
And by golly, it did not work out.
Mayday, mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you... Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
Boy, people in Lake of the Woods sure are happy.
How happy are they?
Happier than a vampire at a blood drive.
And do you know your blood type?
A or B positive.
Have you eaten today?
I had some Lebanese food for lunch.
I love the Lebanese.
I'm not
Enough
sure
with the formalities. Let's get started, shall we?
Question for Scott Stadkis, our security officer.
What's the deal with the bears?
Bradley, thanks for asking. I know we're all concerned. Thank goodness you're fast, unlike me. First of all, we live in the woods and we're surrounded by wildlife. There are 25 to 30,000 bear in this region, and the best thing we can do is not invite them into our yards. Don't put out your trash until the day of collection. Don't turn your bird feeders into bear feeders. And don't put honey all over yourself and run through the neighborhood.
This is actual footage of the bear behind the Lowers house.
You know what? That's a cub. Mom might be nearby.
Here's Claire Vonderhaar, who personally survived a bear encounter.
I've seen the bear. How close have you been to the bear?
First of all, congratulations, Claire. A few winters ago, the lake had frozen over. Seth Siegel and I were down there filming for a movie night. We saw the bear come out of the woods near the Haynes place. Here's the video.
We've got company. Let's just move away from Seth.
It's a bear. It's a bear.
It's fine. We're fine. Just calmly walk over here. We're fine. You too, sir. Now, please. Let's just give the bear a minute. He's got to move on. Just let the bear be.
Whoa, what's... Oh.
Sitting in my chair. Sitting in my chair.
That is insane. It got that clean on a cold cycle.
Okay, can we go back to work now, Mr. Ranger?
The bear's now leaving. Okay, gang. That's good. It's clear for us to go back to set.
It's a polar bear.
That's it from here. Happy Labor Day and enjoy the show.